Okay, so a few more doctrines of Druidry to show that we can be serious about this. The doctrine of mnemonics. We covered 3 chief doctrines prior. We'll call this one doctrine number 4. Doctrine of mnemonics. Mnemonics. That which is attained in Druidism is committed to memory. And this is one of the reasons some have talked about this idea of, the Druid never wrote anything down. In many of the cases, some things must first be comprehended through direct experience and use before they can be properly read or given the limitations of language and terminology. The Druids recognized the limitations of language, I think, which is a very important key to point out. The semantics, the meanings associated with our vocabulary. It's the limit in which we can relay verbal or written information to others. Some sensations are subjective, internal, difficult to grasp with any language. And the solution is either to create new vocabulary, or alter or expand the semantics of an existing one, or to provide experiential opportunities for someone to go through, to try to re-examine, relive, recreate this sensation for themselves without having it described to them, without having it put out in words ahead of time in language prior to their actual experience, so that that experience is not limited to what you expect, to your vocabulary and all of that. If you were told, for example, what to expect during your first like a psychedelic experience or something like that, if you were shown your only experience with it would be Alice in Wonderland, and so you would go into it with such an expectation, with such salient thoughts in your mind. Those assumptions would obviously play a part in the outcome. On the other hand, as far as the psychological research that I've seen, especially concerning the metaphysical, that same idea of a psychedelic experience, which is why I use it as an example, is incredibly subjective and personal, and for whatever reasons different each time, I guess. Modern English did not even contain a vocabulary adequate to investigate psychedelia, and which is why they threw together some Greek words, psyche, and the Greek suffix for changing, altering, manifesting. That's why pioneers like Timothy Leary were focused on creating a new vocabulary in which to standardize this subject that they had so adamantly designed for themselves. We see the same thing occurring in metaphysics. It's been a goal of mine to ratify the standards of terminology. By creating or describing a word or a phrase that represents a series of concepts, you implement mnemonics, essentially. Now, let's say number 5